This is a combined YouTube and podcast episode. It will be broadcasted on various locations. So for example on YouTube, where you can find basically 0 videos at all. Investing skills on YouTube, again also brand new channel. I've thought about YouTube for a long time but not really bothered. I got hundreds of hours of video which I haven't posted, so you might see some of that there. And first and foremost, for those of you who are listening to this on Invest in You, we are super grateful for you tuning back in. This is a solo episode, but I'm going to talk about AI. It's not something new. The cool thing by working with intelligence and defense, many of the things we're doing right now, I have used for many years already. Using, for example, a virtual environment with video and a shared workspace, for example a whiteboard, sharing documents, etc. I was doing that as a pilot in 2005. Yes, you heard 2005 correct. It was not during COVID when everyone started to use it. It was way ahead of that, and also with another layer of complexity where we had to do this encrypted because no one should be able to just bug it, to listen into it, or to disrupt it, because whatever channel it might be. So digital workspace, I also been working with that with many different sales organizations globally, how to make it more efficient with a virtual team. Again, that's nothing new. I've been doing trainings on that for the last 15 years. I love how Alex Hormozi puts it. It's not like, this is not a how-to video, it's more how I have been using AI, digital tools, etc. for the last couple of decades. First, let's do a little detour. What about my computer literacy? Now let's go back to really early 1980s. I come from a really normal family. We did not have much money. My dad was working in the industry. My mom was an under nurse. None of them had university degrees or anything like that. They were just working, grinding, and raising us 4 siblings and working hard all the time. So we didn't have money to have a computer in the beginning. So I was playing on my friends' computers. At the time it was Commodore 64, Commodore 128. And from there, when I eventually got my own first computer, it was an Amiga 500. Which I later upgraded with working memory, and 500 means basically it had around working memory of 512 kilobytes was the CPU. And from there, doing programming in school, because the school doesn't have any money. It was an ABC-80 computers. Google it, it would look like an old fridge. And and then when I was like 15, 16, I was hanging out with a really smart guy who was a couple of years older than me, courtesy of Bladde. He was doing some really cool programming, and at the time floppy disk was really at an early stage, and we were together downloading programs from America over the normal telephone line. And it was just sound and audio, and we were recording it with a cassette player. So downloading programs from the US, making them even better. And this is when I was like 17 years old. So I have been doing some programming, and I remember the joke of the year at that time was knowing enough about programming how to reset and delete everything on a whole computer, basically with some simple commands like format basically the whole drive. Really funny as a joke, really causing a lot of headache for many people, and to be just a little ahead in terms of learning all the time. That meant that I have been on the forefront for most of the time, and right now the huge shift with AI and AI availability all over the world is my massive knowledge advantage that I've had from learning for my whole life has shrunk to a fraction if you just look upon the knowledge base. But my ability to ask questions is something I ask you to keep learning. So the powerful questions plus the knowledge now means I can ask really powerful questions to AI, and then I can ask AI to refine it further. But the power how you can ask questions, so basically more than 30 years in leadership positions, helping me to understand how to delegate tasks effectively, really makes me to a power user of AI, regardless which platform it might be. I'll do some comparison videos about the different main LLMs and so on another day, not today. But I use basically all the big ones for different reasons. So today, in today's landscape, you are really losing out if you don't learn the fundamentals of AI. So basically everyone has got the power to, for free, in the workspace, have an assistant, a virtual assistant, an AI assistant. The assistant you couldn't afford, the assistant that the company didn't pay for, is now in most people's workstations, even if you don't know it. So if you got the Google workspace, it's included. If you got the Microsoft workspace, it's included. And there are lots of free things out there as well. So you can have work that can be 10, 20, 30 to hundreds of percent much faster in terms of your output. And if you don't do that, I'm really sorry, but you will be left behind. People who are empowering AI to simplify their tasks at work, they will outpace you. They will outpace you with cleverness. They will outpace you in terms of productivity. So if you refuse to do AI, what you can do is you can be authentic. You can have your own voice. And right now, going into quarter number 4, 2025, usually we do not like to date our content. Why? Because it's very much evergreen, but for the purpose of this video, it is relevant to date it. So moving into quarter 4 of 2025, people have got so used to see social media, which is almost like conducted and performed by AI. Why? Because humans are lazy. I am lazy. We are lazy. Everyone's lazy. So it means that a lot of content we see out there might be done by individuals, might be done by AI, or somewhere in the middle. I suggest somewhere in the middle. So proofread and check whatever you might have inspiration, help, or even a printout from AI what to do. It's really good for creating ideas and so on. It's good for structuring ideas. I'm still very much, as you can see, there is no computer around here. There is no script. It's just me, the clouds, the sun, and a lot of motorbikes. So let's continue on unscripted. So moving into quarter 4, 2025. You now need to add the person back into the conversation on social media. You can't just rely on social media because it shines through. Sometimes I add emojis, sometimes I take away emojis, sometimes I delete the hated & sign in a text if I have used any kind of AI to prompt ideas. And I add the Fredrik touch, which is very much what I think is important, and the human elements. And how I have failed is more interesting to people than how I have failed. So just to give you one example of how the real you can make a difference, and how to show you that this is unscripted and it's based on my learning experience. So one of my choices I've made in life is to think about my two co-hosts, Ivan and Charlie Sandvall. I've been a very present and very absent dad at the same time, because I chose a military career, I chose an investor career, and I chose also the entrepreneur journey. All of those can be extremely time consuming, and so can also being a father and a husband. So by choosing those career paths, I have been very much physically away for more than half of my kids' life, throughout growing up all the way until now. So yeah, half of the time I'll be gone. That's it. Working. And I often call also my entrepreneurial journey and investment journey as work and as a job, so people can relate. And for those people who are entrepreneurs, I'm sure you can relate to that, what I said as well. But that has ultimately led me also to the option to have, for many, many years, had a lot more holiday than anyone else. Why? Because with the military I always worked so much, so I always got compulsory leave. So I often had like not 1 month holiday per year, but 4 months holiday per year. And one time I had a whole year. Yes, you heard right. I had 1 year as paid holiday. So the year when I did my full-time MBA in England, I did that with full salary the whole year, by accumulating holiday in advance. And then when I turned 40, I made a pivot. I resigned from a management consultant position, senior partner, surrendering stock options and shares in the mother company, a solid 7-figure salary, and a good life that I really enjoyed. But my MD luckily said that no, you're not allowed to go remote and still deliver the same results. I want you to be here. So when I had the choice to choose between money and career versus family, I chose the family and I quit. Luckily, I had for many years, just like leaving the military, I was prepared when the time came. Also leaving full-time employment, when that time came, I was also in a good position. So we had family business, we had real estate, we had forestry, we had the investments, etc., etc. So it wasn't easy, but I could make the jump and still keep supporting the family for many, many years to come, in terms of not being employed. I have, over the last 11 years, had a couple of fallbacks into doing good for world peace, and I'm actually doing that now again. So doing a second year helping out with the United Nations operations on the highest level, and I really enjoy that, to do something which is helping many, many millions of people in this part of the world, and I really, really like that. And also to be a leader amongst leaders, that's something I really thrive from, because it's okay to be a leader, but to be able to motivate and encourage other leaders is a different ball game completely. All right. And I also had the opportunity to work with one of the world's largest security companies on sales strategies. That's also something I did full time for more than a year in the last 12 odd years. So, and after this I'm going full time back into entrepreneurship and investments again, and that's already happening on the small side outside working hours. But I can't really talk about my work in social media, so everything you will find, it is not related to, nor does it reflect the views of United Nations at all. It's just Fredrik Sandvall, the person that is talking to you here now and across all social media platforms. So what do I actually say? It's okay to fail. I have failed by being a super present dad, but I've also been successful in staying in touch with my kids. I'm extremely proud of them. They're both taller than me, they're both stronger than me, and I hope that they're both smarter than me in different ways, shapes and forms. And their world, your world, is very, very different now. With decades of investment experience, it is humbling to see the new startups that are pitching me. It is really interesting to see how people are talking like there will never ever be a correction, the economy isn't cyclical, we won't have inflations, we won't have high interest rates again. Trust me, it is all cyclical. It will come back, and often when we least expect it. So these so-called black swan events, they happen all the time. Many of them pass us without us even noticing, but some of these black swan events have a huge impact, and often they don't show up as one single black swan. It's usually multiple at the same time, and often they have an impact that lasts. So this has been a off the collar episode while walking amongst the hills. You might not hear all the animals in the background. You might or might not hear all the cars in the background. Thanks to a fantastic podcasting team. They are very good at filtering out noise. I recently did an episode recorded in an airport, and I'm so impressed how they could do that work. I should probably start promoting them even more than I do. But yeah, fantastic podcast team is powering this podcast since long time ago, and I kind of lost track of the statistics because we have been changing from first platform in 2017 for the podcast Invest in You. We were on a system called Libsyn, and at the time podcasting was really unusual. We were still amongst the early players, and then we changed to a podcast studio, which we have not regret, like a turnkey solution, which is very, very comfortable when you are producing content for many years, taking away the headache of podcast production. So many people hate to come up with ideas or find guests. Many people hate to do the post-production. Many people hate to market the podcast. So many people hating all of these steps, so much so that most podcasters would never reach even podcast number 7. And this statistics was valid 8 years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. It's still valid today, that most podcasts don't last beyond a few episodes. And consistency is very hard as well when you got this crazy lifestyle that I've had as well. So I know a number of very successful podcasters that started at the same time in the same peer group as myself, that even use the same platform. And many of them have got more than 1 million people following their work, like on a monthly basis. We have got less than that. My point with changing platforms, and we are recently hosted on Spotify, which is probably one of the absolute biggest podcast platforms at the moment, because they're buying podcast productions that are successful. They like to host podcasts that are successful. They even buy a lot of other podcast platforms, which of course acquisitions is what we love. You buy revenue, you buy customers, and that's how the super tiny Investing Skills podcast has been acquired by Spotify. So right now, the 2 live podcasts I have, they are both hosted on Spotify. And yeah, next episode will most likely be about either more about AI, more about acquisitions, but we have recently received a number of inbound guest requests, so either guests directly reaching out to us or agencies pitching their clients as a potential guest. So you're more than welcome to keep pitching to us why you should be on the podcast. But really now, with all this traction we have, you should either have like a multi-million-dollar company, or a multi-million exit, or really move in the direction of AI, health, wealth generation, or specifically around investments or acquisitions to be relevant on our podcast. And we like to have, when we can, to have a female presence as much as possible, being one of the senior positions in the United Nations related to gender advocacy and partnerships. I like to highlight female successful entrepreneurs whenever that is possible. So we do positively discriminate if you're a successful woman, to highlight and shine what you're up to, because many of you great female entrepreneurs out there, you are less visible than the men for various reasons, and we like to showcase your success whenever we can. So until next time, all the very best. Just be aware, we have just launched a super tiny community on Alex Hormozi's platform, School. So if you're on School, find us. It's a free group. It's Invest in You is the group name on School. That's where you can continue to have the dialogue. We'll post episodes there, exclusive video content. You will have the chance to sometimes ask questions to the guest before the actual podcast. We will also launch a couple of live Zoom events where you, the audience, can be part in the actual podcast production. And we'll most likely also capture a couple of live podcast Q&As via Zoom, as well as face-to-face in the next couple of quarters in Pakistan, India and Dubai. So a lot of things happening. Most of the things are under the surface, not visible yet. And if you are an AI entrepreneur in SaaS, SMM or anything else, and you're really profitable, do reach out, DM me for a conversation how I could in partnership with you double the value of your business. And yes, you heard that right. Take care, guys. This is Fredrik Sandvall signing out from the lovely hills in Asia. Cheers.